Namaste. Welcome to another episode of Nasta with Nam. Today we have this yummy breakfast from Best Masala Mix and we have wonderful Kelsey with us. Thank you for making time for this one.
I'm so glad to be here. Thanks for having me, Ankita.
So Kelsey, I want to know all about your India journey. You came to India as a young woman and then started business in India and also had kids here, like you adopted a girl. So how that journey, were you very sure from the beginning that India is the place to go, or this is something you discovered later?
Yeah, that's a great question. I originally came to India thinking I would be coming and going for business for a few years. I was a single girl, so no family, commitment, ties yet, no settling down. And then I met my husband here.
Oh, wow.
And so we also thought we would get married and then return back to the States. But then as the years went by and some business startups happened, our whole adult life was here. And so we just thought, while we're still young and while we are starting these businesses, what if we stuck around a little longer to see them really thrive before returning back to the States? And so that's kind of also how our adoption journey, having our own biological children and then also having our own adopted child.
Yes. So you have like 4 children, right?
Yes.
How do you manage that with work?
Lots of help.
Yeah.
That's an amazing
and
thing
also
about
India is a good place because you find help also, like childcare help here.
So helpful.
Yeah.
So helpful. I feel like India, one thing that's been amazing is I'm able to hire help for all the other things, like housework and cooking and things like that, so that I can spend more time with my kids.
Yes.
I think once we return back to the States, I'll be doing a lot more of those things, and I don't want to have missed those years with my kids.
Yes. So, and they're like very young kids, right?
Yes, age 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Wow, awesome.
Yeah.
So you started with exports, right? And then you diversified into wellness. So how did that shift happen? And what were the initial struggles that you faced in a wellness business?
Yeah. So I originally started with sourcing, and I kind of was reflecting of, I would come to India and I would have an idea of what the buyer from the US wanted, and I would go and find that thing. And so I learned lots of networking skills, or lots of, making customer service even with my clients. And, in my wellness business, I'm kind of still doing the same thing. I'm learning what things work in the wellness space for me and my family, figuring it out. And then I'm hearing from my customers what wellness needs they have, whether it's stress issues or sleep issues or cough and cold with kids. And I'm able to then go and find exactly what it is they need and meet their needs. And so I think I was able to
find that gap.
Yeah. And so it's obviously exporting and essential oils are different, but being the middle person between a person with a need and a person needing to find the need and fulfilling that is probably similar.
Yes, and you also use Instagram as one of your mediums to spread awareness, and you have a huge following in that. So I wanted to know whether it was a conscious decision to build Instagram to help grow your business, or this is something just organically happened.
Yeah. So when I started my business, I knew that I needed the business to be built around my schedule as a mom.
Yes.
I'm not going to put my kids down so that I can go build some business. That did not feel right to me. If the choice had been remain in sourcing and exporting or be a full-time mom, I just would have said,
I'm going to be full-time.
I'm going to be a full-time mom. I'd rather do that. But as I began dreaming of what if there was a business I could start that I could do in my time around my hours of being a mom, so where I can always prioritize them and then still build my business on the side, I also knew an online platform was a must. I can put my kids down for bed and I can work in the evenings on my Instagram if I want to, and I cannot if I don't want to.
Yes.
And so it was definitely a conscious decision. I had no idea, obviously, when you start a venture, how it'll go or how far it'll reach, but it's been amazing knowing that I'm filling a gap for both people and wellness needs, but then also helping people here know how to adopt.
So can you give us some tips how to grow your Instagram account, because you have a huge following, and I'm sure you must be doing something right.
Oh, thanks. That's encouraging to hear. So For me personally, I also knew, I was like, okay, I've got to build my business in the times that it's right for me. It's got to be a business that I can put my kids to bed and still be excited to go do.
Yes.
Which was not export, right? So finding something that I was like in my pockets of time, I'm going to have a creative outlet and I'm going to feel excited to still nurture it. That was a must for me. And then I think also something that I would encourage others to do is think about, okay, how can I make this a creative outlet? So for me personally, that meant I didn't need to just have a faceless Insta page that only mentioned essential oils. I needed to be the brand. And so that was kind of a very like intentional choice that I made, because I was like, if I'm the brand and I'm sharing my story, our story, things that we're incorporating in our life, that's more creative for me. That's something I can be excited to do. But if I'm only posting about like one specific product or whatever, I was like, I don't think I'm going to be able to fully
do justice to the.
And it's not because I don't love essential oils. You know, I'm obsessed.
Yeah.
I could talk about essential oils all day long, but get, in the pockets of time where I've already worked a long day of taking care of my kids, like what can I really give myself into? And that was showing up and being the brand ourselves.
And you use a lot of essential oil at your home as well. Like I see in our shelves, you have few shelves which are specifically dedicated for essential oils.
Yeah.
So it also brings, I think, you're bringing the real side of you as well, not just promoting business. So does that help?
100%. I feel like something for my doTERRA business is being a product of the product. Like, the reason people trust me to use things on their kids, to use things for their health or on their bodies or in their house, is because they see me doing it. And I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't think it worked.
It was safe for kids.
Yeah, exactly. It's like if you see me rubbing something on my 4 children, you better know it's safe and effective and affordable. And so, yes, we have essential oils all over our home. And I think for us, it's very important for them to be in a place that I'm going to be able to easily grab it. If it's not in a like strategic location with 4 kids, like
it is very hard to find it.
Yeah, I'm just going to be like, never mind, it's not worth it. But if I keep them in my bathroom for the ones that I need to do for skincare, or if I keep them in my kitchen for the ones that we're using with food, then I'm going to be using them all the time. And then when people come over to our house, they can freely grab them and use them. And,
how nice. I'm going to come to your house very, very soon.
Please come over.
So I also wanted to know, like Instagram, you have a lot of Indian following also, in spite of having like a American background. So how did that happen? Like, was that you had to work something additional to get that following to you?
Yeah, that's so with India specifically, like I said, we knew, we're in India now. So we definitely want to build our Indian businesses now before we, go on somewhere else, the US or who knows. But for India, doTERRA just launched here in 2022.
Okay.
And so I knew I really wanted to nurture that side of my doTERRA business while I'm, here and in person, and can bring over samples and share with people in person and have that personal touch. So yes, I do feel like a lot of my content has been directly targeted to the Indian community. I think about 30% of my followers are Indian.
Okay, that's a huge number.
30-ish% is from the US, and the other 30 is
all over the world.
All over the world.
Wow.
But that's what's been so amazing about building a global community, is that someone can comment on one of my reels and say, hair help India, hair help USA, hair help Australia, and I can send them a direct link to get the same product I'm talking about here in India.
Yes.
Anywhere. And so that's been huge for me, just sitting at my house, taking care of my kids, not having to, leave and go to office or spend time away.
Yes.
So,
and you also talk about lot about your adoption journey on Instagram, and also it is still a big taboo in India.
Yes.
So how did you break that barrier and so openly talk about it? Like, did you feel judged at any point, or did you feel that people were not taking it in the right manner on Instagram?
In India, everyone is so nice. I would say the only negative comments we've ever gotten have been from my home country, which is, it is what it is. So I will tell you that. That's one thing that we have I mean, probably why we're still here is because India, people are so genuinely nice. I feel like that because the culture is so diverse here, everyone is very comfortable with knowing that everyone is different. You know?
Yes, because we have different states and every state is different.
There's so many cultures here, so everyone's like, of course you're different than me. So I think that has been really helpful for us of, you know, I'm American, of course I'm different, but like I'm not, you know, discriminated against or whatever. And so that's been amazing. So I would say most of any negative comments we've gotten have not been from India, so I'm thankful for that. But I don't think I knew how taboo it was until I started posting about it. But I would say it didn't get like negative backlash as much as I got messages saying, I need you to help me because I can't talk to my family about this.
Yes.
And I was like, I would love to be your safe person. I just had no idea that so many people needed a safe person.
Yes.
So it was that part of it was something I didn't expect, but was like, okay, in the same way that in my sourcing business, I was filling a gap, in my same way in my wellness business, I'm filling a gap for people. I was like, oh, if I'm going along this journey and I'm going to be doing all these steps anyway, I might as well vlog about it. Like I might as well take people along for the journey and let them see India adoption is very much possible. I kept hearing over and over.
It is not possible.
It's impossible.
Yeah, and the wait is so long.
I think that someone's mother-in-law is saying that, you know, just to get someone to not do it. And I was like, okay, how can we respectfully educate in this area to make people know it's okay if you don't choose to do it, but here's my daughter. It's very much possible. Yeah. And how can I be a part of shedding light on that area when there's literally millions of kids waiting for families, and so many families here want to grow their family,
they're struggling to grow their families, and there's a way to do it.
Yes, whether they're struggling to grow their family or I can't even tell you how many families have reached out that have said, we actually already have biological children, we didn't have issues, but we think we have more love we could give. We just don't know how to do it. Yeah. And so, yeah, it's been really sweet to be able to say, it's not hard. Adoption in India is very much not hard. I would say it's probably one of the easier countries, but it is long and tedious. So you've got to have that mental shift of it's not impossible, it's not hard, but you do have to follow the rules and follow the checklist, and then you'll have an amazing child, and the child will have an amazing family, and so it's so worth it.
Hats off to you for doing this much for the community and building that, sharing that information so openly. I'm sure so many parents are gonna get benefited out of it.
Thanks.
And lastly, I just wanted to summarize this conversation and ask you, if somebody wants to build a wellness brand and also a global business, what are the few top tips that you could give them to start out properly?
Yeah. So if someone wants to start a global business, call me. First of all, I would love to help. That's like such a fun topic for me. Second of all, I would say find your non-negotiables of, you know, when you've had a long day, when you are not going to let your family fail. What are things that are going to make you still get out of bed and say, I'm going to utilize this pocket of time? And so, for me, like I said, it was me being the brand was important. Me picking something that I actually liked and was excited to talk about. And then I would say also just finding a company that you can partner with that has branches in lots of different countries. And so again, that's why we chose doTERRA, because we could build it on the moon if we wanted to, you know. But finding a company
it's easy to build it, like somebody starting out new, is it easy to, like, is doTERRA is an easy company to get franchise or whatever?
It couldn't be easier. Like literally by buying your own products and using them and then sharing them with others is literally how you start a business. So there's no big investment. I have so many friends that have started, you know, successful cafes and things like that, and I'm so happy for them. But they also had like a 30 lakh investment to get started.
And this is like a zero investment business?
Literally the cost of your oils so that you know enough to share with the next person is the only investment to start a doTERRA business. So it makes it, why would everyone not consider it? So
Kelsey, we have a fun section for you. It's called the rapid fire round, and you just have to quickly answer the questions. So chai or coffee?
Coffee.
Your go-to essential oil blend?
Breathe.
Breathe? Oh, I
Respiratory
love that
blend.
one as well. And especially in this
Yeah.
air pollution, I think that's the best go-to.
The best right now.
Yeah. Your favorite handicraft or souvenir from India? Because that's what you used to do earlier.
Oh, okay. So we have an India like wall decor that it will definitely be in a suitcase with me when we leave one day.
Oh, wow. A parenting mantra that keeps you going.
I think just loving them well.
Yeah.
Loving them well. Yeah.
One word to describe your bond with India.
Hospitality.
Yeah. You love the hospitality here.
I think I have the gift of hospitality, and then I think India has the gift of hospitality. So I think I learned so much here, and I've grown so much in that I want to, everything I learn here, I'm bottling up and taking back to America.
This has been so nice. Thank you so much for coming here today.
Where did you get it?
So this is actually a Nam brand, Zuri Libas.
Wow.
And it's a very, very nice wearable. It can be a summer outfit, it could be a winter outfit with a stocking. So
I love that. I love the colors. You look great in those colors.
thank you. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you so much, Kelsey, for joining us. This is a small candle for you.
Thank you so much.
This is a hand-poured candle by Myra, the Creative Way.
I love it. Thank you. And thank you, Myra.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.